Did you know that every time mortgage rates rise, even 1/4%, it prevents about 325,000 people from being able to afford a home? That's why looking for ways to build affordable homes that are energy efficient are so important. Today we're in Plano, Texas, and we're going to show you a nonprofit housing corporation that's working with a local builder to utilize some new construction technologies to make for some great-looking homes. Now, this affordable home is being built under a public-private partnership between the federal government, PATH, which stands for Partnership for Advancing the Technology in Housing, and private industry. Joining me today is Steve Brown from Carl Franklin Homes. What makes these homes so affordable and so energy efficient?
Well, we build our outer skin using a foam core structural insulated panel,
or SIP.
Our SIP. It gives us a high energy envelope that provides a very energy efficient home for the home buyer.
Now, this is 2 layers of OSB and some insulation in between. Now, a typical home has studs at 16 inches on center, like this interior wall, maybe some brick or siding on the outside, some fiberglass in between, and some drywall on it. These are called stick-built homes. Why do you like the SIPs as opposed to standard stick-built?
Well, first of all, it's structurally stronger. This is the same as a 9-inch on center stud base. That's what our structural integrity of our wall is.
So this wall is actually twice as strong as a conventionally built wall.
Absolutely.
Now, these go together in an interlocking system. You actually have a 2x4 here, and then it goes together with foam?
Absolutely. You foam the wall, and I'll put the 2x4 in.
All right. Now, this is a standard urethane foam, and it is an expanding foam. Comes out of there pretty quick. You even have a hole for wiring if you want to use it.
Great, you bet. Then we put the 2x4 stud in.
And I'll foam the other side of this panel. So this interlocks onto this stud and onto the floor plate.
Just like that, and then we nail on both sides about 4 inches apart all the way up on both boards and then on the back side.
It does make an amazingly strong wall. What do you do around windows and doors?
Well, let me show you. We have a small mock-up wall here. It's actually smaller than the regular one, but this will show you how the doors and the windows work. We have the sill piece that actually fits in.
Now, these can be prefabricated at the factory. You can actually cut these on site with standard tools.
Absolutely, and that's what makes it real simple and easy to use this type of a system.
You nail and glue these together just
Absolutely,
like you do the other components.
on both sides, just on the other. Then we have the header piece that fits in.
This makes for complete cutouts. Set your window in.
Right. Then we go over to the door, and we have the door header that fits in the same way, glued and nailed.
And then your top plates go in. That ties everything all together, and then glue and nail these, and you end up with a pretty rigid wall assembly.
Absolutely.
Another labor-saving feature of structural insulated panels is that you can use them to frame the roof. Now, in a conventionally framed home, they use 2x8s or 2x10 rafters that are cut on site 1 piece at a time. Here, they can actually span from this ridge beam all the way out to the exterior of the wall with 1 complete panel. And since they're insulated with almost 6.5 inches of foam insulation, they're very energy efficient. What we're looking at here is the black plastic piping that connects to our geothermal heating and cooling system. You know, when you build affordable housing, it's not only important to build homes that people can afford to buy, also homes that people can afford to heat and cool. Tell me why you think these systems are cost effective.
Well, actually, they work real well. They make our homes much more energy efficient. We drill 2 holes, 230 feet deep, each hole. We snake this pipe down in it, loop it around. This connects into our HVAC system. It circulates the water, which carries the heat out of the house, carries it down to 230 feet. Our earth core naturally cools the water, circulates it back up, and that's how we heat and cool our house.
And in the winter months, it just reverses the cycle. It takes the heat out of the ground. Now, these systems cost about twice as much more as a conventional system. How much would it cost to heat and cool approximately 1,500 square foot house like this per month?
This home will run about $40 a month.
So it might actually be about half as much as a conventional system.
About 50 to 75% cheaper to work with a geothermal pump.
Steve, we're in the attic of one of your finished homes, and what we're looking at is the black piping that we've seen come up through the slab before, which really pipes into the heart of your heating and cooling unit, which is the geothermal unit. I am really amazed at how quiet this is.
Yes, and not only is it quiet, but this is the entire system. There's nothing else. This is the whole heating and air conditioning unit, plus the pump system that circulates the water.
Another thing I notice about this space that's very cool, since we're using structural insulated panels, all the insulation is really overhead. That's why we don't see any rafters or nails coming through. It makes this attic a lot more comfortable and probably a nicer place to work and also store things.
Right.
Now, I also noticed that you have a tankless water heater here.
Right, we use a continuous tankless hot water heater, and this is the insides of it. It actually gives hot water on demand. It doesn't store water as a typical hot water heater does.
And this works much like an instantaneous, coffee maker. Just
Right.
As soon as the water goes in, it comes out at the desired temperature.
Right, that's how it works.
Tankless water heaters can supply an endless amount of hot water. This would run for 120 degrees all day long, or as long as the tap is open. We've seen a lot of unique features here in this house that are normally reserved for homes that cost a lot more. These are